'cause I really love to.
Welcome back to another episode of the GC Informer. Have you missed me? I hope so. And those of you who questioned the Max on my shirt, which is part of the name of the company I do a day job for, not anymore, motherfuckers. Covered it up. Except it's there, but that's my real name. And I'm a metalhead. So screw you all. We will start today by talking about Call of Duty, a game I have no particular interest in, but a lot of people do, and it's worth talking about. And apparently I'm allergic to it. Okay, right, that's a thing. As I'm sure most of you are aware, Call of Duty World War II is coming out later on this year, about November time usually, to hoover up the Christmas sales. And the beta has just gone live today, or well, today as I'm recording. Initially, it was only actually available in Hong Kong, but you just have to sign up with a PSN, sign up to a PSN account in that region, sort of thing. You can get around it quite easily, but it's now available in all regions, despite the previous assumption that on the PC at least, the Call of, I think it's on the PC, or is it just in Britain? No. Ugh. Yes, the original idea in the UK at least was that you could only access the beta if you pre-ordered the game. A shit move for shit people! Fuck you, Activision! This is, however, no longer the case, and you can just go and access the beta. I don't know how long it's running for, but if you're interested in Call of Duty World War II, want to give at least the multiplayer a little bit of a try, go ahead, it's now live. Also going live very soon in 3 days when this goes out is the Destiny 2 PC beta. So if that also holds any interest to you, doesn't to me, but go and find that and see if it's any good and report back. And I won't look because I don't care. On to something I wouldn't usually talk about on the news, but an accessory for the Switch has been given it's a very interesting accessory for the Switch that's coming out, and I'll tell you about it now. It is called the Pelda. I see what you did there, guys. I get it. Well, a really awful portmanteau. It is a portmanteau of Power and Zelda, because this particular accessory is a battery-style case for the main unit of the Switch. It fits over the top and round the back of the Switch and gives it an extra 4 to 6 hours of battery life depending on the version you get. The standard version, which should cost about, well, $45 if you get it now while it's on the Kickstarter phase, or $90 when it goes to retail, gives you a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. I think that's correct, or is it an 8,000 milliamp hour battery? It is a 8,000 milliamp hour battery giving you 6 extra hours of battery life, or there is a Pelda Pro version which gives you a 4.5 hour boost in battery life, but the cost of that is mitigated by the fact you have an HDMI port on the top of it which connects somehow, which means you can actually just not use the Switch dock at all and just output it to your TV like that. Quite an interesting proposal there, because a lot of people sort of hate the Switch dock, and I don't blame them because it's a bit sort of crap and it sort of ruins the whole machine. And really, it's the big letdown is the dock. I really like the visual look of it. It looks like old phone cases, like before they became like these kinds of like big sort of rubbery things. When phone cases were made of a leather kind of thing, a leatherette, and you wrap it around. That's a really nice word, leatherette. Well, leatherette. So that is that kind of stuff. Very nice. I quite like it. If I had a Switch, I'd certainly be interested in having a look at that. It surpassed its Kickstarter goal incredibly quickly, and if you want to go and get it cheap while it's sort of still in the stage, go get it, and it's due to ship in January 2018. The next GTA Online big update is coming very, very soon. The DLC, the content, is called the Smuggler's Run Pack, and they're adding air traffic lanes to the game, okay, which can open business routes Okay. Business routes which can be exploited through various aircraft that you buy with the in-game money, from like small choppers to massive things. Okay. And customizable aircraft. I'm sure there's other things, but man, oh my god, that's the most boring sounding fucking content they could have possibly come up with. If they thought that this was going to get, I was just going to talk about me, my opinion, if they thought this was going to get me back into GTA Online, they are sorely mistaken, because GTA Online is a grind fest designed to make you pay for the microtransactions. That is a fact, and that is the reason I don't like it. It's very good sort of mechanics with good potential, and it was wasted to me, and I just can't stand all of this. I really can't. It's so bad. But yeah, that's not going to get me involved, that's for sure. I have no interest in that because it just sounds like more grind. You have to grind to get the helicopters, to do your business routes, and it's a crime game. I don't have to think about business routes, for fuck's sake. And finally, a little bit of catching the light wire. A little bit of news that I'm just going to touch on because this is more of a nice homework task for you. One of the developers, or one of the writers, sorry, who used to work for Valve, has released what, at least in his mind, is the proof concept plotline for Half-Life 2 Episode 3. Because the writer, whose name is Mark Laidlaw, no longer works for Valve, he actually had to put all these, he put the plot out there, at least his sort of summary and idea, under gender swap names, possibly to avoid things like copyright, and in a slightly sort of period writing style, which I find quite amusing. Highlights for me included Gordon Freeman being called Gertie Fermont. Yes, Gertie Fermont. And the Combine being completely reversed to be called The Disparate. So, yes, quite amusing. I like that. Very nice little sense of humour there. If this is something that interests you and you want to read it, then you can go and read the whole thing on Mark Laidlaw's blog, which is called marklaidlaw.com. And then it's the URL slug is Epistle 3. And it's just a nice little amusing sort of what he thinks Half-Life 2 Episode 3 would or will be, but probably won't be. It's not coming out. Deal with it. It's not gonna happen. And that's it for this episode of the GC Informer. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give us a like, subscribe, a share, whatever you fancy. And if you want to follow us on social media, that's also a lovely thing to do. Or join us in our Discord group where we have a lot of banter. If you like me, I have a channel. I've not posted on in ages, but I have a channel, and that'll be on an end card, and we have lots more content to come, so please stay tuned to Gamecast for just anything related to games, news, let's plays, reviews, whatever you fancy. We've probably got some of it. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time for more news.